Just be gay. You don't have to do crimes,
Or don't.
but you can.
It's your it's who you are. It's who you do not.
You almost say it's your choice.
No, shut up. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Queer Peer Reviews. We review queer media, good, bad, and ugly. I'm your host, Bruce, and alongside me is my co-host, Justin.
Here at Queer Peer Reviews, we review your favorites and not so favorites of films, TV shows, video games, and queer themes and queer media.
Today we're reviewing a Disney animated TV show, The Owl House, created by Dana Terrace. So I binge-watched the show, and because someone here wouldn't stop bothering me about it.
It's a good show.
It is a good show. I just didn't feel like it at the time.
And now we're birds of a feather.
Now we've seen it.
Brought together.
And it was really well done. It was a really well created show. Only had up to maybe 3 seasons.
It should have had more.
Should have had more. Should have had more. Should have more. But a certain mouse was like, nah. So yeah, I had the chance to binge watch the show over, and it was a really well done show. It's about a character named Los Noceda, who mysteriously enters this magic door and falls into this fantasy world of all magical creatures, mostly run by witches. And there she meets Ida the Owl Witch, along with King, this little demon thing.
The King of Demons?
King of Demons, right, at the time. And the house itself, which my favorite character personally is Hootie. And it becomes this whole adventure of finding out the mystery, because I think in this the magical world is run by this emperor, the ultimate witch, Emperor Bellos, who has this mysterious thing going on. And she attends this school of magic, not that other school of magic. Shut up. And anyways, with season 1, it was just a lot more about establishing the world and how it worked.
Yeah, found family and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and how the world worked was that Ida is considered the wild witch, which is a witch who casts
a witch who practices wild magic.
The way this works is that Emperor Bellos decreed is that each magic should be separated by its own thing, blights, potions, plants.
Yes.
But Ida is nah, I'm doing all of that, and that's why she's considered a wild witch.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way they, where they establish power systems and all that is pretty cool. It's doesn't make it too overpowering. It's everybody can do any magic.
Yeah.
No, only one person can do this magic. One can do illusion. One plant. Blight's an interesting one. Blight is slime control.
I think it was the Abomination Coven, and they had this weird sort of sludge thing, which I found kind of interesting because it had so many versatile uses, and you don't even, I feel over the course of the show, you don't get to see what all the covens are really capable of. You see different coven leaders, and they are, made to look interesting and antagonistic.
There's some construction coven and all that.
Yeah, there's a construction there's a ton of different things.
I think it was 9, so but obviously we didn't have time to go through all 9 of them.
And it's more fun if you go through it yourself and try to find out which one fits you the best.
Yeah, and Luz just because I guess she takes Ida as another mother figure besides her own mother. Not that she's replacing it. It's just
she's in a
stuck.
new place.
She's stuck
she's
in
a new place, a new world, and she needs some sort of help to survive. So she teams up with this found family of hers.
Yeah, and
in the woods.
And she has this witch culture shock where
basically she comes to this magical world expecting it to be like it is in the books or like it is on TV. And she slowly comes to realize that no, there's a very distinct, rich, old culture here that is, nothing like it is in the stories. It's nothing like it is in the books. And she has to be willing and open to learn about the ways that the Boiling Isles, which is the location she ends up going to, how it runs and how it works, and what are the parameters, and how does she fit into this magical world.
But yeah, so far, like I said, season 1 would establish everything else. We also have Luz's school friends.
Yeah, there's a distinct difference between the family dynamic and then the found friends and the group that she makes at this new school. It's actually interesting because we didn't say earlier that she's kind of when the story starts, I think it's literally the first episode, the mom is her actual mom. She's talking to Luz about how might be struggling in school and how she's, her like attention isn't always there, and she does a lot of kind of random stuff, and she
like an outcast.
Yeah, she's kind of an outcast, and she's going to like a summer camp where she can learn to conform and like be less, I guess, hyperactive or something.
Yeah.
And I remember when it first came out, a lot of people had a lot of different theories on like what the main theme of the like story was going to be for her, but it was a very interesting thing for her to supposed to be going to camp, and then she ends up in this magical place instead.
Like I said, this magical place kind of suits her personality a bit.
Yeah.
And she finally makes friends in class, but you know they're like witches as well. And one of those, I guess at the time, not so much friends, but she like wants to make friends.
Yeah,
with,
kind of almost a bully.
Yeah, Amity. She's and like they do like this slow burn. Like later on, Amity gets more and more interested in Luz. Like you see verbally, and then like where the prom, in the prom episode especially, where Amity was supposed to ask Luz out, and with a note, but the note was ripped off, so they didn't know who was specifying who, and it was like a big reveal.
And the cool thing about this, which I feel like there are some other series. I remember there was kind of like an issue in like Star Versus. There was like the romance angle doesn't take up like a ton of the plot. It's not that it's underdeveloped. It's developed very well, but the romance is like secondary to the additional like mystery. And there are characters that get introduced that you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're going to be recurring or not. And I feel like it does a really nice balance of juggling the suspense as well as the drama. I think they do a really good job of that throughout the seasons. Yeah, it got canceled it was supposed to be canceled, and then they brought it back, but they turned it into
They let them finish the show. But
it was like 3
they had to
longer
condense
episodes.
it,
Yeah, but it still sticks the landing in a way that I don't want to rag on Star Versus because I did like it, but like it sticks the landing much better. It sticks the landing so much better because the way that everything gets wrapped up is very, very, very good.
So yeah, one of the most powerful beings, besides like supposedly Emperor Bellows, the most powerful being is actually the Titans that ruled over. So yeah, the Boiling Isles is basically in the chest of a skeletal Titan.
Yeah.
So that was very cool, and obviously the heart is literally where Emperor Bellows' castle's at.
Yeah,
So,
it's nuts because you can see the ribs like mountains in the distance.
And the heart is still beating.
Yeah.
It's still technically alive, which is... And now...
That reminds me of Kokentepe from Adventure Time.
Yeah, and with that, so what I also like is that because Luz is human, she can't use magic. She has to use like these glyphs, these pieces of paper glyphs. And the magic of these glyphs is actually connected to the heart.
Yeah, I remember because she was struggling with magic for a long time.
Yeah, she couldn't do it, so she was like, "Wait, I got better."
Because they had an organ. It was like they had an organ in their body that allowed the witches to use magic.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a wild one too. It's not like, oh, you could just learn by reading books. No, you literally have to have the requirements internally. And she does it pretty well throughout in the beginning. What I like is they progressively show her like being amateurish at it, but like near like the end, around season 3 and around the finales, that she uses that shit like professionally. Like she knows what to do, and even like combine like fire, ice glyphs, and doing.
People begin losing magic at some point during the series, and because of her ability to find glyphs and use glyphs, they're able to like gain some of that power back, gain some of the magic back. And it's really, really interesting to see that. It's like the core mechanics of the magic change midway through the show, and then it's just like they build on it, and that's what I find so interesting about the way that it's like shown in the show. Yeah,
and I forgot. And one of my also other favorite characters that are like super powerful was the Collector.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to get too much into him because he's such an interesting character, and I feel like we can't talk about him too much, but he's just so much fun.
No, you can't talk about him too much. I can summarize him easily.
One sentence.
He moved the fucking moon from the sun.
Fair enough.
He looked up at the sky, saw the eclipse, and it was like he grabbed the moon and just... Like I said, season 1 was established. Season 2, there was like emotional tolls there, leading to like all the problems with Emperor Bellows. And... Another thing too was also Luz and Amity's relationship was also progressing more since the prom. There's been more interest, and I think it was that episode when the library, when they were trying to find more information about Bellows, and Luz helped Amity so much that Amity just out of nowhere just kissed her on the cheek, and it was like, oh shit, I gotta go. And then Luz like falls on her knees like,
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, finally.
It's fine. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I remember all the theories. It reminds me a lot of a bunch of different shows where there's theories about, what the characters are thinking and what they're going to do and like how relationships are going to play out. And I feel like so many people are just like, finally, they could finally breathe. They were just waiting. And now it can be.
Yeah. And they progressed to very like nicely, nothing like, there was nothing forced. It was perfectly like just continuing on. And then, eventually they finally, they became, girlfriends. They were like, oh, let's agree to be girlfriends. And then they finally did like, in the finale, a full kiss.
I think wasn't the ship name Lumity?
Lumity, yeah.
Yeah, the Lumity moments are always arguably when the animation was at its height, like peak animation for most Lumity moments, which was nice.
Also, I guess we should say
you can tell where the budget went.
Also, yeah, and it also confirmed Amity is gay and Luz is bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
POC, women of colored representation in my Disney media. Perfect.
What was it? And who we're missing out? One of Ida's exes. Rafe is, I think, is non-binary.
I think, yeah, Rain is non-binary.
Rain is non-binary. That's another character that was established who was a bard, who used bard magic.
Yeah.
And they made bard magic, like, powerful.
I would argue one of the most badass characters in the entire
Even
series.
just whistling was, like, powerful in this way. It was pretty... I like it. That's what I think with the magic here. They used it so, like...
They were also, what's it called, a political leader, because they were part of they were, like, the leader thing.
Yeah, they were going against Emperor Bellows, yeah. Like I say, we're trying not to get into much of this, because if you are watching this video and you haven't seen the show, but you just want to know how it is, then go watch it, because we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But watch this video first. But like I said, it's very well written, and I really liked it. And it's.
I would also want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
If you're worried about something that you might have been seeing in recent shows that have like this sort of structured storyline where like the villain gets redeemed at the end, you're really going to like the way this one plays out.
Yeah.
You're going to like the way this one plays out. If
This
you're
ain't
worried
Steven-
about
this
that
ain't-
sort of thing,
yeah.
This is not...
This is not Steam Universe. Although we can't blame her. That studio also cut that too short.
Yeah,
So
this
we
is
can't
true.
blame him. So let's get to those reviews for Owl House. We'll start with representation.
So for representation, we give it...
I give it a 9.4.
I give it 9.5.
Cool.
We're only so close.
Yeah, so representation-wise, honestly, very well done. I also like that basically on the Bowling Isles is like, nobody really cares whether
Yeah, they don't. I
don't
feel
care if
like,
you're gay.
yeah, the
Nobody-
majority of people don't bring any of that stuff up. They don't question it.
It's just what it is.
And there's actually there's a
fucking magic.
character. One of Luz's friends has two dads, so that was sick to see. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
there was also
yeah, okay.
well, we also we don't just get to see Lumini, which is the two main characters, which is already again like I said, a woman of color who's like bi, which is. And I can't even really think of how many of those we see, especially in animation. Then we also have Rain and Ida and their relationship. So we get to see, people who are older in that sort of relationship as well. And they take, I don't want to say center stage, but they're very, important to the story. So there's two of that. And then you have the main antagonist being this, guy who's, really fucking rotten to the core. And he thinks he's a patriot, which is the craziest part. So... I feel like so much of this was written so well and with so much thought put into it, it's hard not to rank this pretty high. Next up, queer comfort scale.
And so for queer comfort, I give it a 9.5.
I give it a 10.
Yeah,
I think that because again, this is like a show targeted around like the teen demographic, I think it holds what it needs to hold without being gratuitous, obviously. But it is... How do I describe it? I feel like this is very authentic to a lot of people's experiences. I think there's a lot of, there's so much, right? There's like the gaslighting tactics that some of the villains use. There's the systematic oppression with the like whole, group system thing. So like it's it seems very real, but also it allows itself to be, just magical enough, just whimsical enough that it doesn't overwhelm you. There are a lot of horror elements, but I feel like none of them are super overwhelming and scary, and I feel like they allow people to be honest with what they're like experiencing, and I feel like that'll be really important for kids growing up.
What he said. Next up, writing.
And for writing, we give it...
I give it a 9.
I give it also a 9.
Yeah. The only reason we give it 1 mark off, because Disney fucked it up. It's not their fault, but I guarantee you, if we had 20 more...
We were robbed.
20 more episodes, it would have been a 10. Because we would have got more...
talk about it in the show. If we had time for 20 more adventures, they literally talk about it in the show.
Yeah.
And then they have the mouse thing that like chews up stories and spits them out. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, it's a little magical mouse that eats books and then projects the shit out of it. So I don't know if that was
that might have been a little on the nose.
Yeah. Oh, so
you even see there's little like pictures of episodes basically probably that they were going to give us they couldn't because of the cuts.
They had to condense it. They had to condense some scenes and make them like slideshow.
Yeah.
But I guarantee if it wasn't the case, if we got 20 episodes, they wouldn't be slideshows. It wouldn't just been, season 3 longer than that. So season 3 only has like...
And it seems like it's a little open-ended. There's a very real chance that we could get more of the Owl House. So write your local politician. Tell them you want more Owl House.
Local politician.
Yes. Tell them you want more Owl House.
Other than that, all the characters established, the relationships, the
history,
the build up to the final conflict was really well done. The lore is also like gets you like on the like just staring at your screen like what's happening next. A lot of things you always get fun. You have a lot of fun theorizing after each episode, like what's gonna happen next. Like
I definitely want to say if you know what coven you would be in, write it in the comments below. I want to know.
Yeah, I think it'd be Illusion.
Illusion's pretty strong. I was thinking I'd probably do Plant Coven. I know Jamie would definitely do Plant
Jamie's
Coven.
definitely a Plant Coven. I know that. She wants to control plants.
Up next, Originality.
And for Originality, I give it 8.5.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
It's magic.
It's
transported to another magical world.
Yeah, it's an
isekai.
School. There's been a bunch of Disney isekai. I don't know why.
That's what I
Probably
think
because a bunch of weebs are writing,
When it comes to shows like these, I say not every idea is going to be like as original. It's just changing it differently, making it different in another way.
Yeah.
So it makes it, and it's like, magic. Yeah, attend a magical school and all that. Yeah, we already know that other side of the fandoms. Like I said, it's just twisting it your own way. But either way, I think it stands on its own. It doesn't.
I really feel like if people are looking, to get off the sinking ship, that is the British Wizards.
The British one.
You can absolutely get enthralled with this. It might not have as much stuff, but we don't know what the future holds. There could be a whole new chapter of the Owl House just around the corner. So
in books form or whoever. That's usually what happens.
Video games, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Next up is overall.
And now for the overall rating, we give it a
9.
I give it a 9 as well.
Solid 2 9. Yeah. Overall, it was an amazing show. I enjoyed binging the rest because I watched the first season, so I was binging season 2 and season 3, and it was a great binge. I was enjoying it. So, and
this dork is always not listening to my recommendations, but you viewer, right there at home,
Jimmy behind you understand me. Jimmy behind the camera.
I know you hear me. Please,
and maybe AJ.
Watch this show.
Give it a try.
Watch all the shows that we talk about. Watch the movies.
Watch animation.
Especially the good ones.
Support animation.
Support indie animation.
Just support animation.
Support it, please, because man.
Not just queer animation, but just good animation.
There's some beautiful stories that can't be told in any other way than this medium. And the timeless way that these things are made and then survive is completely dependent on people knowing that there are people who are willing to listen to, watch, and become enveloped and involved with these stories. So definitely watch this show and enjoy it because it's something special. It's something that a lot of people felt that way with Gravity Falls, that it was just something that was like so groundbreaking and new. And
they wanted more.
Yeah, so just support it. Support it wholeheartedly, and we'll definitely get more really cool shows just like this one.
So, with that all reviews in, AJ, hit us with that gay shit.
So the Owl House comes in at 90.9 out of 100. Putting it at a gay?
A gay.
Yo,
It's a gay.
absolutely.
At a gay?
Yes.
It's a gay.
It's incredibly gay, which
Nice.
is exactly what we needed.
Yeah. Well, that was it. We reviewed Owl House. We loved it. And I hope you guys take this video and, influence you to go watch the show and judge it for yourself. Also, before we forget, it's also Pride Month.
So,
Yeah.
happy Pride Month. Be gay, do magic.
Be
There
gay,
you
do
go.
magic, and maybe a bit of crime.
Arson is the one crime that burns away all the evidence.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Happy Pride Month to all.